Today we're talking Patek Philippe. There are a lot of watches in their current collection. I'm going to go through some of my favorites and some of the absolute worst, ending with the absolute worst, and such a moron's watch, really. So today's episode is sponsored by our friends over at Squarespace. More on them later. And today I'm simply going to open up the Patek Philippe website and scroll through and look at the collection and give compliment where it's due and give criticism where it is maybe overdue. And I have talked a lot about Patek Philippe, of course, in the past, but a lot of what we're saying here today is not been stuff that we talked about in the past. It's new stuff because the collection is just so large. So when you start scrolling, it just never ends. So let's get into it. Let's just start off with the 5712R. I mean, I think I'd like it. I think I'd like it a J more. I think I'd like it in yellow gold more. But this watch is just an unbelievable watch, by the way. 5712, 3712 its predecessor. Basically flawless configurations. I mean, just flawless. Moon phase edition, unbelievable. Date, power reserve, running seconds without a center seconds. Perfect. 5712 is perfect watch. It really is. And in stainless steel, they're $100,000 or maybe more. And I just can't do it. Maybe one day, but if I'm going to drop $100,000 tomorrow on a watch, which I'm also not planning on doing, I don't have the $100,000 temperament at the moment. It's a lot. In rose, in precious, oh God, man, this just tickles me. Look at the gradation, not just the complication of which it's flawless, right? It's rather complicated and it's just been balanced out so well. But look at the dial, the brown. Look at where it starts and how it delicately vignettes out at the edges. I just think it's just such a fabulous watch. I also want to give credit to the 5980 in white gold. I think this is the best 5980 they've ever made. I really feel that way with this denim seaming strap. I think those are two just peak Patek Philippe Nautilus watches, and they are both currently in the collection, which you can't always say, right? A lot of the times when you look at the best Patek Philippes, the Patek Philippes that we look back and say, yeah, that was pretty much perfect. In time, it is continued. 5970s is continued. I don't recall the reference, but the World Time Moon phase. I think that was a flawless watch. Flawless, discontinued, right? It was 175th anniversary watch. So many incredible watches. And that's without even going into like the vintage world, 2499, all that stuff. Forget it. Going into the Aquanaut category, 5164, the travel time, I actually think it's far more beautiful, and this is maybe controversial, far more beautiful in its blue and white gold than it is in rose gold and chocolate. I also think the time-only models in both the grenade green and the blue are really great. For my first grenade here, I don't like the 24 collection. I'm actually surprised Patek Philippe really has not overhauled their women's collection in so long. They make some remarkable gem set watches, both in Aquanaut and Nautilus, but even outside of those watches, even in Gondolo, I believe. But I don't love the 24. I don't love any of these watches. I got to be honest with you. I don't think the women's Nautilus watches are perfect either, but they're closer than these pieces. I would be very curious sitting down with a Patek Philippe, executive, and maybe I'm sure the answer's in the numbers that these watches still do sell. So why spend tens of millions of dollars in overhauling, the collection? That's probably the answer. But still, I do think that these women's watches, these ones, do fall. While they're great, and if I gave one to my mother, I'm sure she'd be thrilled. But in my more critical eye, I can't help but to see these watches are not up to the standard of Patek Philippe in what I just talked about, in the other pieces that I just listed, or so many others. Right? I think that. Another great example, 5905R. I think it's the best within the complication, this annual calendar chronograph complication. I think the sizing is great. I love it in rose. I love the blue. I actually am not as big of a fan of a lot of the other examples within the collection. Obviously, it's very similar to the 5205, which is annual calendar with moon phase and date. My buddy has one in green. Beautiful watch. absolutely beautiful watch. Still doesn't do it for me in the same way that really vibrant blue. If you haven't noticed already, I'm really big into color with these watches. Today's episode is sponsored by our friends over at Squarespace. I have been a loyal Squarespace user for 10 years now, and had it not been for them, for their tools in building not just a beautiful website, but the most functional websites I possibly could, I would not be sitting here today as an entrepreneur before you, because the support they've given from the first day, from securing a website domain and how easy it was, to picking a template, a design template that was representative of my brand, that was just beautiful and elevated from day one. I'm not a designer, I'm not a web builder, I don't have the budget for these things, or didn't at the time. It was impossible, and Squarespace made it possible to own something, to own a digital presence that was becoming of a large business on day one. And I think that is just amazing. And as time has gone on, all they've done is continue to develop more and more tools to support their users. From their fluid engine system, which allows you to drag and drop different elements from here and there and move the website around and make it kind of live and grow with you, to their invoicing systems that allows you to send out invoices in an organized manner to your clients, flexible payment so that your clients can check out more easily with less friction. Everything Squarespace offers is just amazing. SEO tools as well. I am a huge Squarespace fan. So if you need a website or a domain, or if you already have one, but think you should take 5 minutes even and explore what else is out there, which I highly recommend you do, head on over to Squarespace, use the code Theo Harris for 10% off your first website or domain. That's Theo Harris for your first 10% off your first website or domain. So head on over and enjoy. I am so tempted to say 5396G. I'm so tempted because I love the baguettes. I love blue. I love the lineage of this model, going back to the perpetual calendars of the 3448, I believe, that same case design and dial layout. But I just can't get behind the date window at 6. That's what gets me here. Still a great watch. I'm sure I'd love to wear it. But to be fair, I do think that this is an imperfect execution. And I'm sorry. I think that when you're at that level, I just have a very low tolerance for even the idea of imperfection. I do. Patek Philippe has essentially enjoyed their reputation for being the best, being a brand that delivers perfection. And yet a watch like that, I think, does have a kind of a glaring design flaw that I just can't get over. And so I do look at it as a bit of a pit. Next, 5231G. This is the world time Cloisonné enamel dial. Doesn't really get better. I love all Patek world times. I think the complication is great. It's just so Patek, right? The idea that, you know, this brand could be famous forever for manufacturing such a specific complication, right? This is the opposite of a chronograph, right? Which is somewhat apart from applications with doctors. The chronograph is a sporty, you know, get your hands dirty complication. And this is, no, I'm jet set. No, I'm just checking in on the time in Rome or in Sydney. Why? Oh, business there. I'm traveling. I don't want to unscrew my crown. It's just so much to do. It's just so much. I just want to just hit the button. Come on. And the Cloisonné enamel dial, I wish Patek did more with enamel. I mean, they're flawless. Patek's enamel is unbelievable. When anyone does this, it is looked at as derivative from Patek Philippe. You know, they've just been doing it since the 30s, I believe. I do think the 5224 is great. I think this is a bizarre 24-hour travel time display. It's a little confusing, but I do think it's rather handsome. I think it's a very pretty watch. They resisted the urge to do a date, and I think that it's restrained and beautiful. It's a lot of money. It's $63,000. Whether you like it or not, I don't think it's necessarily debatable that there are no inherent flaws. You don't need to like this watch, but I can't find a flaw with it. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful watch. You know, could there be a more beautiful case to be fit in? Sure, maybe it's possible. You know, would it be maybe attractive and more for me in a smaller size? Yeah, sure, fine. But it doesn't mean there's a flaw. I mean, 42 is a big size, but it doesn't mean it's a flaw. It's big for me. That's not a flaw. I think this watch is absolutely beautiful. And for someone that wants a, beautiful classic Patek Philippe, but someone that fancies themselves a little younger, a little sportier, a little bit, not Calatrava, right? They want to be classic Calatrava, but they want to be athletic, This is perfect. Moving on from all the compliments, you want to get critical? 6007G. What are these watches? These are horrible. The pattern, the strap, the dial, the thinking that the pop of color is cool. Just terrible watches, and I can't believe Patek makes them. 5088, okay, another reference, Calatrava, horrible. Saw it in person, terrible. Pretended to like it, to be polite. Horrible. Hope you're not watching. Unbelievable. Cubitus in platinum, 5822P Cubitus platinum, terrible. Disgusting. I tried it on. It's terrible. I'm not judging without seeing it. I wore it. It's bad. It's bad. It would need to be on the wrist of a bear, first of all, for it to be proportionate to a body. It is big. And not only is it big, it is not beautiful. There are big things, right? There are big watches that are great. I think there are Panerais that are better than this, and I really mean that with my full body. I think that there are Panerai submersibles that are prettier and cooler than this watch. This watch is just terrible. Smaller sized Cubituses, Cubitai, haven't tried them on yet, and I will at some point. I still don't like them. I don't care how small they are. I think they're ugly. I think it'd be a really cute woman's watch. Like really tiny. In the way that you make anything tiny and it's cool. You make anything tiny and it's like, oh, yeah, why is a Royal Oak even prettier tiny than it is big? I don't know, because it's tiny. How did they do it? You know, I could see a Cubitus working that way. But as otherwise, nah, not just bad, it's beneath Patek. It's beneath Patek. I really feel that way. But nothing is worse than that platinum. I mean, it is just terrible. And the worst part is anyone that's wearing one, they were allocated that watch, so they're walking around with it like it's really great. And I'm sure someone watching this video is wearing this watch. I'm not an idiot. I'm aware that, you know, someone watching this is wearing it. And God bless you. I wish you nothing but health. And congratulations on your wealth. I mean, that's great. Don't be worried about my opinion. Who the fuck am I? Who are the rest of these people that agree with me? It doesn't matter. Enjoy your watch. Enjoy your ugly watch. It's great. That's it. It's a wrap, everybody. Have a great day and rock on, Patek Philippe. Keep doing good things. I hate ending videos. Watches, particularly vintage watches, represent this intersection of history, of design, of engineering. Theo & Harris is a family business. It always has been. And that's because we, my family, all share a passion for this remarkable intersection. For nearly a decade now, we have scoured the world from Oklahoma to Tokyo for some of the most interesting watches by some of the world's most revered manufacturers to share with our community. We handpick our collection, we look for quality, and we look for taste. We choose watches that, for one reason or another, speak to us. We authenticate them, we service them so they're ready for decades of memories to come, and then we share them here with you. We support our clients. We believe in expedited and fully insured shipping so they never have to wait. We believe in stress-free returns in the off chance they change their mind. We believe in building relationships that last. Theo & Harris is a family business. And we haven't just built a shop, we've built a community. So whether you're considering adding a vintage watch to your collection, a handmade strap to your life, or if you're just looking to talk watches, we're grateful that you've chosen us.